Welcome to Everyday Leadership. Join me today on an insightful journey with Bijay Baniya, a dedicated founder who hustled for 6 years in the world of EdTech to discover the perfect product market fit. Originally from Nepal, Bijay's path led him to Finland, where he became a teacher. After wearing multiple hats as a salesman and CEO, he ventured to the US with the mission of empowering deskless employees through his EdTech skilling platform, Sparkworks. Tune in as we explore Bijay's resilient journey from finding traction in sectors like restaurants to navigating the challenges brought by COVID. Witness the transformative moment when he discovered purpose in upskilling nurses and aiding aspiring nursing professionals in securing meaningful opportunities through education. This episode is a gold mine for entrepreneurs seeking genuine insights beyond the superficial content often encountered on this topic. Join us as we unravel the highs and lows of Bijay's entrepreneurial adventure, offering valuable lessons for those navigating their own paths. Listen now. Bijay Baniya. Bijay is the founder of SisuCare. He is, he's somebody who was dipped his toe way too much into EdTech. So we will be getting to know all those secrets of what goes into building an EdTech company. But yeah, so there's lots of learnings ahead, all the way from how to really get started in the EdTech world to all the problems that one encounters once you embark on an EdTech journey. With that, so let me introduce Bijay Baniya. Bijay, introduce yourself. Also, give us a quick tour of how did you get to where you are today.
Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. It's a pleasure to speak with you, and also at the same time, learn about you and what you have been doing. Amazing work. So my name is Bijay Baniya. I was born in Nepal in the Himalayas, and when I was 19 years old, I moved to Helsinki, Finland, to study. And actually, Finland. Initially, I was in a small town in Varkaus, and then I felt very lonely there. There were not a lot of foreigners there, so I moved to Helsinki, and I spent good 14 years of my initial life there from 2004 to 2008, 2018. And during this time, I was running different companies, and I was also working as a teacher in Finland, and that really led me into educational world. The teaching in Scandinavia, in Finland, it's very different. Education methodology, educational design, all of that is very different compared to where I grew up in Nepal. I did my high school in Nepal, so the first 12 years of my education was there in Nepal, and then I moved to Finland for higher education. And there, while doing my master's degree in Finland, I got into teaching, and I got the interest in educational technology. I mean, my first experience with using learning management systems, and also both as a student and as a teacher in Finland. That led me, with the idea of can we design something easy to use, and also, targeting the demographics, that are not so tech savvy. When you look at people, that do not have a lot of time to go through education, so can we design something for them? And that led to Sparkworks software platform, and our goal was to use this platform to reskill uh, multiple billion of people. There are these, you call them blue collar workers. So how do we train them, when they are super busy doing their work in restaurants, retail, hotel, and making sure they get the right training to do their job. And while we were doing that, then I got into an accelerator program in San Francisco in March 2018. And then I moved to San Francisco, uh, you know, with that foundation. So it was a 3-month program, and then it helped us, get the first network, of mentors and support people around us. So I did that for a couple of years, and then COVID hit, and when COVID hit, then it was big time for us to pivot. All our restaurant clients, retail clients, they were suffering a lot during COVID, and then they all the contracts that we had signed, they just canceled overnight. We are not open. How can we pay you licenses? And then during this time, I realized that nurses are needed, and we have a very robust platform for training people. We call it rapid reskilling. That's our focus. And then we put together a team, talk to our partners, and then we started building this SisuCare platform. Well, the platform was ready, but we pivoted towards the nursing education, and now we have trained over 1,000 nurses in the state of California, and now we are expanding to other states and also adding other programs. So SisuCare specializes in certified nursing assistant training, CNA training. So when you look at the nursing ladder, so they are the core people that are doing most of the work in skilled nursing facilities across the nation. And these CNAs work under the supervision of RNs. And so we have been training over 1,000 CNAs in the last couple of years. We became the first school to be certified by the Department of Health in California in 2020 to run the entire theoretical coursework of CNA training, self-paced on our platform. And so we basically changed how nursing education is done, and now we're expanding to other states. Oregon is lined up now, and there are other states in the pipeline. And then on top of that, we are adding more nursing programs. And why is it relevant? So when you look at nursing career, healthcare career, there is a massive demand for nurses because of aging population. And also, unfortunately, the healthcare after COVID, the quality of health of Americans has gone down, and that's where there is more need for nurses. Not only the aging part, but also the chronically ill and long-term illness has grown, and that's where these nurses are needed. And also we focus on low-income demographics. These nurses, we get these people early. They are usually single mother, 2-3 children, doing multiple gigs to meet their ends meet. And for them, this is their stepping stone into a stable income. And they come to us, they keep their day job, and with SisuCare, for the first time, they could become a CNA. Like how we do it, they can keep their day job at the same time. They can become a CNA. So you can come home, you open your laptop, and you can do the entire theoretical coursework of the CNA training, self-paced online. Of course, our instructors guide them, help them. But once you have done the theory, then you move on to do the clinical training. We have over 50 locations across California, and that is flexibility, for these demographics to become a CNA. And once they become a CNA, immediately they get a job, and they also get healthcare benefits. And for someone from that demographics, getting the healthcare benefits, getting a stable income, that is a massive boost for their familial stability. So this is something we are very proud of at SisuCare, because of our way. Those people that could not become a healthcare worker, now they can become a healthcare worker with SisuCare. And in terms of the affordability, how we have designed this program. So it's a quick program. You can get it done in 6 weeks. And we have weekly payment plans for them. So you just pay us $129 over 12 weeks, and there is a small registration fee in the beginning. So we have made the program much more affordable than it has ever been in California, and that makes us super proud that you don't need a lot of money to become a CNA. And also in terms of our employer network, there are so many employers. We work with close to 100 that are looking to hire these CNAs right now, and they immediately get a job, and they usually offer them tuition reimbursement. So whatever you pay to SisuCare, you immediately get back once you have worked with these employers. So Yeah, I mean, we are super proud of what we are doing, and also I'm super proud of, in terms of the team that we have that is executing. We have nursing faculty that is working day to day to make a great quality education program for these demographics, and then also the technology team that is working every day to make sure everything is working for our students, so they have a great learner experience. So yeah, so that's briefly my story, in terms of where I come from and what I'm passionate about. So going forward, we are launching other programs in the nursing ladder, and making Americans healthier. And what is happening at the end of the day? There is a massive nursing shortage, and because of us, there is more nurses. So and also quality nurses. So the quality of care is improving, and that is what we need today. After the pandemic, so this is going to continue for multiple decades. The nurses are needed, and we want to be these demographics partner that enables this for them, and at the same time, making healthcare system better.
There, there is a plenty to unpack there.
Sorry
Obviously,
about that, Pradeep. Yeah,
no, I mean that's a good material. I mean, there is so much we can learn from that journey there. Not just I think a lot for the aspiring entrepreneurs to learn from your journey, especially the way
but it
you.
has come at a price. There is a lot of struggle and problems that I have faced over the years.
Yeah, and we will uncover all of those today for our viewers. But let's start at the very beginning. Let's start with why Nepal to Helsinki.
Helsinki, yes.
Helsinki, sorry. Nepal
Yes,
to
Nepal to
Finland.
Finland. So yeah, so that's a great question, Pradeep. So Nepal, when I was in high school, we were a bunch of four, students. We were top of our class, and we just wanted, all of us agreed that, let's just go abroad, to study. And our my first preference was to the United States, Australia, like everyone else in South Asia. And then I stumbled upon Finland, and a good education system that they have. And I also learned that back then the education was free. And so I got into a great program. I moved there. So I'm very happy with what with my decision, and also what I learned in that country. It was like a stepping stone to where I am today. So I mean, Finnish system, Scandinavian system, very socialist, social welfare, all of that they have, free education. They even pay you for studying, you get the student benefits. And then very capitalistic, the United States. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's Finland. It's in 2004, it was not my number one choice. I mean, yeah, initially it was not my one choice, but when I got to learn about it, it became my number one choice. This is great. Let's just go to the country, that is known for lakes and forest and Nokia and all of that. And there were not a lot of foreigners back then. There were like, like probably 500, 1,000 Indians, 200 Nepalese people there, but like there are thousands of them there now. So Finland has changed as well. Back then I felt, oh my God, I mean, there is, there is, it's, I don't see diversity here. So, but then again, yeah, it turned out fine. Good,
What did
good
you
years
study
there.
there? Like, what?
I studied for my bachelor's. I studied industrial management,
Hmm.
industrial engineering, industrial management, they called it, and I did my master's in economics and business administration at Aalto University. So first bachelor's and then master's in economics,
And
and
then you
then
said you. Mhm.
yeah, sorry, yeah, and then all of this time I was interested in teaching, so I was also working as a teacher. And there was a new school set up in Helsinki in 2008. It was the European School of Helsinki, and I was part of the team, that was there from the beginning, setting up the foundation for that school. I was their math and science teacher, so yeah, that was the stepping stone for me in my career. And also I have been running companies, others companies as CEO. Like I was a German company's subsidiary CEO in Finland. and then I was a partner and CEO in a company from Denmark that I started in Finland. And then once I had done this, I was running companies as a CEO, and I got the confidence because in Finland, unlike here in the United States, you really do not have a lot of opportunities when you are an immigrant. Unfortunately, Finland it's a very closed country, in terms of what kind of opportunities you can get. Very, very, very different from the United States. So I was lucky that I was able to get these jobs, and those really gave me the foundation to and the confidence to start my own company in Finland.
Oh, that is very interesting. Were you running these companies when you were studying there in Finland, or was that after you're done with your education?
So actually, one of the jobs I started already in 2011. I was still at the university, but I got lucky. That is, I can share that story. So basically, my firstborn daughter was born in 2010, and while I working as a teacher in Finland, I felt the money was never enough, even though they pay pretty decent, but it's not enough. So I realized I must do something something different. And there, this German company that focused on health and nutrition. So there I applied as a substitute. Their sales manager was on sick leave, and it was a substitute role for 2 months, and it was just close from our house. I could just literally walk to that office, and there was the German CEO. He hired me for 2 months, and I did very well. But initially I was so scared at that job because I had just learned Finnish. I had been speaking Finnish for only 1 year, and I was not confident about my Finnish language skills. And I had a thick accent when I spoke Finnish. I still do when I speak Finnish, but I speak fluently today. And then when I started that job, my job was sales manager. I realized, I was very scared. I was very scared, super scared that me as a foreigner in this country trying to sell something to Finnish people, who are not used to foreigners, that much, like compared to the United States, the UK. And I started calling them, and I was super nervous. I would pick up the phone. I would like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I started pitching it to them. And then, when they heard this accent, there is this foreigner trying to say something in Finnish. Back then, there were not many people in Finland that spoke Finnish. Very few immigrants lived in Finland. And then they heard someone with a Finnish accent, someone speaking in Finnish with an accent. They were like, wait a minute, this guy is trying to sell me something. Let's hear him out, And I was like super successful, with that accent and selling, and and I was super successful. And the CEO, decided that he was going to keep me there in the full-time sales role. And then, as luck turns out, the CEO, after I had been with that company, this was a part-time job, but then he gave me full-time. I was studying at the university as a full-time student as well, studying, and then I became the full-time sales manager. I was combining both. I would go to the lectures at the university, and then also I would, do my sales quota. And then, as luck turns out, I had been with the company for 5 months, and then he informed that he is leaving to Germany, going back to Germany. And then, the CEO's role was open there at the company. And I told him, I'm interested, I have the business background studying that. I applied. And then, they interviewed me from the headquarters in Germany, and they gave me a trial of 4 months. I succeeded, and, I became their CEO for 3.5 years. And then, and in the meanwhile, I graduated from the university as well. And then, after that, I felt, I needed to start something of my own. Then, then I became a partner in a Danish companies. I was partner and CEO in Finland. So it's time plan. That also I built from scratch, actually. And the previous company, the German company, that became super successful. The profitability, the sales, like I doubled during my time. It became a super profitable company. They had 33 countries under their operations, and we were the number 2 in terms of the sales and profitability among all of their countries. So I did a pretty good job with that. And then And then I felt, let's get some, shares and ownership and things like that. Then I started Time Plan Software as a partner and CEO, and that one focused on HR, people management, and workforce management, workforce scheduling. So I did that for almost 2 years, and then I got the confidence in more in software technology, and then I had the educational passion, and then I created Sparkwork. I started building Sparkwork, and then yeah, and now today it's SisuCare Education. That is doing this nurse training today. So it's like so many things, and then I'm here right now in San Francisco.
No, this is a fascinating journey. One thing I want to sort of touch upon is your journey as a you started as you finished your bachelor's, master's, you worked as a teacher, and then you became a sales manager. From there, you became a CEO, and then you became a CEO of another Danish company, and from there, you started another company in the HR space, and from there to SisuCare. Why entrepreneurship? Why what is that pushes you to become an entrepreneur, given all the struggles that it requires?
That's a great question. I mean, entrepreneurship, it's the family, my family background. I come from a family that we have always been, everyone has been entrepreneurs, and yes, yes, some have been doing other things, but mostly we have ended up being entrepreneurs. So growing up, seeing my father, seeing my brothers, run companies, it always motivated me. The motivation part was, it's you have something that you're building every day, and you see slowly it's growing, or you have struggle, and that is life. It just teaches me life. It's a slow struggle, and then the value that you create that did not exist. For example, today's SisuCare Education, no one did nurse training like we do today. So, and that is entrepreneurship. We as founders and entrepreneurs, I mean, every day, I mean, we try to come up with a new solution, and innovative solutions that makes people's life easier, better, cheaper, happier, and that is how I have lived my life. And to that, I mean, I also believe that you need good education. I mean, you cannot just like I just wake up one day without any education, without any knowledge, and I'll just create a company. No, I feel everyone should do the struggle bit as well, go through the education, go through also working for others companies, learn the ropes. And once you know that as an entrepreneur, inside your heart, you know that one day you are going to do it, but you should see that every day is shaping you towards that. It's like every day you are learning. So that's how I see. And so yeah.
Yeah. So one interesting thing that I saw in your background is you're not a computer science major. You're somebody who studied business. You're somebody who studied economics, and someone who did a lot of teaching and sales and other things. But talk to us about your journey towards really building this platform for Sparkworks. Like, what was the journey like? How did you conceive that idea, and what were you thinking? Just walk us through your story in terms of getting that platform into a shape where you can really approach all these restaurants or whatever other clients that you managed to
So,
acquire.
that's a great question. I think in terms of entrepreneurship, actually, uh, my major at the university was entrepreneurship, and obviously, why I chose that. So there is a famous writer, Saraswati. She has written a lot of things on entrepreneurship, and it's what do I know today? Who do I know? And how can I leverage that? So me, I know I'm good at certain things. I have limitations, and I have always believed in my sales skills and sales too, in terms of value creation. I mean, what do you need? Asking the right questions. What do you need? What the client needs, and helping them solve their problem. And actually, that has been my core principle in building companies. So with Sparkworks Software Inc. That we created, so there we did not have a lot of money. I had made mini exit with the previous company, the Danish company. I sold my shares and got some exit, but not a lot of money. But there my approach was, so I had known HR directors in Finland. I was selling them time plan software, which is a workforce management software. And, I was selling them, so I built this network. So how can I leverage that network? So when I was in that process, so I would go on lunch meetings with these people. I will share ideas. And a couple of them, I was able to show them a pitch deck and sell them. And they bought this idea and they gave me money. They gave me upfront money to build this platform. And that really gave me the confidence that here's the money the client is giving, they need it, and I set up a team. And of course we did not have a lot of money, and the cost of living in Finland, the salary of programmers is not, it's very high. So, and then again, I went back to this book, Saraswati's Who Do I Know? How can I leverage my skill sets? So I was born in Nepal, and I have my cousins living in Delhi, and so I was able to create a company in New Delhi, and I was able to hire programmers that I knew from the past, and there also I wanted to do things a bit differently. I I believe in education, so the first 6 months of this team in 2016. So I started my company in January 2016, and from January until June, July, we just focused on their education. So we would have trainers from the United States, we would have trainers from Finland, Singapore, India, training these people how to work in terms of, like, I mean, these programmers, like most of them are still with me today as part of my core software team. And I wanted to make sure that they are trained well, not the same way like how software programmers were treated back then. When I went to India, I felt it needed a radical thinking, and in terms of how they are treated, how and what kind of management style. And the management style there, my core principle was the approach to learning, that they keep learning every day and they keep sharing their learning, and that we keep that today too. And so with that team, we were able to build this what we have built. And I believe that engineers are the smartest people in the world. So me as the business guy, I talk to them directly. This is my problem. Even like the entire team, like, how I present the problem to them. Like, I don't like, have a hierarchy. Like, I talk to one person and that goes and talks to the rest of the tech team. No, everyone is together. And the engineers, I believe they're the smartest people in the world. So I present the problem to them and they come back with a solution, you know. This is their solutions, and that is how we have been building this, like this learning design, the how do we create the right learner experience for nurses and so on. So I mean, every day it's this is how we build, every design thinking, every screen, every experience. It's through that process that I bring the problem to the engineers, and they come up with a solution. And I believe that small, good, well oiled team, like it's like a tight knit team, that you have been working together, each other's strength and weakness. You don't need a massive, like 100-person tech team. You can get so much more done with a 5-person tech team, in my opinion. 5 to 6 people, more than enough. And if yeah, I mean, in some cases, yes, you might need more, but you can do so much more with so little. I mean, there is this one guy I listened to in 2013, um, Govind Ramarajan, I think Vijay Govindarajan. So he's one of the pioneers. So his core principle is do a lot more with a lot less. And and that's different from jugaad mentality. I mean, a lot of Indians know about jugaad. So jugaad is different. I mean, this mentality of doing a lot more with a lot less, and I really try to apply in my leadership style every day. So yeah.
No, that is fantastic. I think as you rightly pointed, the tech barrier has come down significantly these days with so many building blocks to put together technology. I think for most of the non-tech entrepreneurs, I think things have become much more easier now, even compared to the time when you worked on this. particular software.
Correct.
But so now tell me one thing. So I wanted to sort of explore, how did you choose the problem space for Sparkworks? Like, what was your journey? Like, I know you wanted to start a company. I know, this was the platform that we just talked about. Was it the time management software, or is this the Sparkwork platform that you put together?
Yeah, so I was working with time management software, time plan, workforce management software, however you call it. But that gave me the network in the HR industry. But I did
Hmm.
not want to build something, that they were doing, and something very different and
Hmm.
radical. And I believed, good education among the employees, be it white collar workers or blue
Hmm.
collar workers. We don't like to call them blue collar workers. We call them deskless workers. They
Hmm.
don't have a desk. So
Hmm.
so that piece, that is really we wanted to focus on. That workforce. There is like 2 billion people, that do not have a desk. They are the restaurant workers, caregivers, housekeepers, delivery workers. So, and actually for Sparkwork platform, we have these like different clients. For example, one of our largest clients is Postal Services Finland, and they
Hmm.
have 35,000 users on the platform. So every day they train these delivery workers and all the different staff, that are doing all the packing and all of that on this platform. And this platform is the approach is on the go training, easy to use, and so that's basically that has been the guiding principle for us to build this
Yeah.
platform.
No, that's where I'm very curious about, because that is a very big industry. Like the deskless workers is a
Yeah,
large pool. I think if I'm not wrong, at least from what I remember, there was this research done by Microsoft, and apparently there's, I believe, maybe 4 billion deskless workers
yeah,
across
yeah,
globe or something like that. That's
yeah,
a huge market, and
yeah. It
and
is. It
I
is.
and did you? How did you stumble on that market like this?
Yeah.
And
So, for
and
example, one of our first clients, Arkioski. So it's a chain of 600 retail stores across Finland. So
hmm,
Arkioski, their problem was, there is a lot of employee attrition.
hmm,
So they hire people and they work there for 3 to 6 months and they are gone. But you can't put them in a training that is happening at the headquarters, like they're sitting for 2 months, doing the training, or 1 month. So there the training needs to be combined with on the job learning,
hmm,
and it's rapid. And that's our first client, that we got, and we started building this use case. How can we create this great learner experience for these demographics? and
hmm,
and that is basically how it was set up. We're
hmm.
able to utilize in this nursing education as well. This is a quick training. We're not talking about 4-year bachelor's degree in nursing. This is something very quick. You get into the program in less than 2 months. You're done. So
Yeah, this is so. So, talk to us about your journey into U.S. markets. So, and and also talk to us about what was the customer acquisition process in the U.S. was like before you pivoted to this CNA program.
yeah, yeah. So that one was more direct sales. We would use LinkedIn, um, email marketing to reach out to potential clients, and we would go to trade shows. We knew where these people are or go to, and these are usually multi-unit operators. So when you look at our client, our kiosk, 600 locations, they need to streamline their entire processes. The training needs to be same across the board, so that when the customer walks in, it's the same experience, and that experience comes from the employee training. When the employee experience is the same across the board, then the customer experience is same across the board. So that uniformity, that kind of business, that multi-unit operator. So we found those patterns. So in the US market as well, we double down on different retail, restaurant chain, healthcare chains, and we started one piece by piece, going through different verticals. And um, and then the biggest success we found with Sparkworks software was the franchising industry. So when you look at franchising, so they have a lot of franchisees that run their own units, like restaurants or retail units, mostly restaurants, and they need to be streamlined in terms of the operations. And that operation streamlining is done through a great platform that is able to train the people on your SOPs, standard operating procedures. And that's how we were able to build, into the US market. And then, that's, we were working with these nursing homes and healthcare industry. And then, we found a massive problem to solve and, eventually led to SisuCare.
Nice. And if just let's just explore a bit around pivot. Like, when have you pivoted completely, or do you still have the Sparkworks running as is, given you have acquired some customers? Did you keep that
Yeah,
business as is?
yeah,
Okay.
we have kept that. We still support those clients, and uh, yeah, and I think there is no reason to change that. I mean, they are happy with our software. We keep supporting them. We do create some features here and there to help them develop their business. And
So,
but then again, there is this new business that we are focusing on too.
just curious, what goes into really building something for deskless workers compared to the folks with desk and a laptop? So, what potential design considerations should be accounted for building something there?
There are a lot of things, but I'll give you a few nuggets. So in terms of the focus, these demographics, they can't really read a lot of text, even though they're literate, but they can't really read a lot of text. They immediately lose their focus. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it happens to all of us as well. And so that, and then also they're on the move. They by their when you look at the design of their work, they are not sitting. Even though they might sit for a few moments in the day, but they might have to do something more important. So finding the time to train, finding the time to go through these processes inside the company, that is a challenge. And the demographic, these demographics, what they're looking for, uh, you know, something on the go, quick, and then reinforcement,
Hmm.
knowledge reinforcement. Like when you're doing let's say a synchronous training, Zoom training, or even sitting down over a 5-hour lecture and things like that. So that's a very different concept. But here, speaking about this process, it's brought to you, you learn, and of course, first time you hear, okay, I might remember, but it needs to be reinforced, multiple times. And that's the approach with our nursing education as well that we are doing. All of these things they get tested by a third party. We are the trainers, and there is a third party that tests them in California. So it's our job to make sure that we have an excellent pass rate at the state board testing, which is close to 98% in our case. So we are doing a very good job in terms of the pass rate at the state board testing, as they call it here. So yeah.
No, I think this is a fantastic space to operate in. I'm sure, because there are a lot of big players as well. Because as you're explaining it, I think hospitality is also another big market in this space, because they struggle with a lot of staffing related issues, especially post pandemic. And I think that's one area. But anyway, switching gears to explore the SisuCare side of the things a little bit. Could you walk us through what is your sales process there like? Like, how do you acquire customers?
Yeah, so we have two businesses there actually under SisuCare. So we are
Mhm.
approved as a school,
Mm.
and so in the school business, like with any other school in the nation, so we have digital ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, and so on. And they see us about our school, and of course it helps in our case that we are the first school in the state that got approved that you can do the entire theoretical training online, which is
Mm.
state approved, and then and you find a clinical training location close to you, so that's flexibility. So So you see the ads, and you enroll in the program, and you pay a small portion upfront, and then you keep paying over 12 weeks,
mm,
small weekly payments. So that's the digital enrollment, we call it. Digitally, we get candidates. Internally, we
mm,
call it digital enrollment. And then we have B2B clients.
mm, mm,
And so the digital, that is marketing, our digital marketing that handles, and the B2B clients. So we are an approved school, so we also
mm,
sell our school in a box program. So a school as a service, or a school in a box program. So we are an approved school. So let's say you run a nursing home and you
mm,
need nurses. You need 20 CNAs. You come and
mm,
talk to us, and we can roll out your own program, and
mm,
under various models. So either we
mm,
train one of your staff members to teach the clinical portion of the training, since the theory is going to be handled on our platform, uh,
mm,
or we can also send an instructor to teach the clinical portion of the training. There could also be variations such that who does the recruitment of the candidates. Our team does an excellent job finding the candidates, so we can also recruit, or the client can recruit themselves. And so there is that B2B business that we do,
mm,
and that's also a great business for us, because we are extremely different. I mean, that part of the business, I mean, no one does it the way we do it, because when you look at schools, their job is to train people. You come
mm,
there to become something, a CNA, an LVN, RN, all of these nursing professions, but the school is not responsible for your job. But in
mm,
our case, when you look at our B2B business, we work directly with the employers, and we solve their problem. They need uh, to fill their open positions. We talk
mm,
to them, and they get those filled in-house. They
mm,
get the training
mm,
done at their facility. And so that is retention for them. So that increases their employee morale. That increases, the census. When you look at how the healthcare is organized, you have, let's say, 100 number of beds. And then when you have more workforce, staffing is appropriate, then you can
mm,
take more patients on those
mm.
beds, and that's more revenue for them. So that part of the business, it's phenomenal for us, how we do things, and there is massive growth in that business as well.
Mm. No,
So
I
acquiring,
can imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
acquiring those clients. I wanted to give you some background, how the business is organized. So
Mm,
acquiring those clients is through direct sales as well. So
mm,
basically, we do a lot of education. So no one knows about us. I mean, they are used to their old ways of recruiting candidates. They go to Indeed, ZipRecruiter to find candidates, but now there is new method. So a
mm,
lot of work on our end is done educating them. So for example, next week I'm going to a conference to speak about our way. It's in Palm Springs, so it's CAF annual. So all about 4,000 people are gathered there. So so that education piece, we have a booth, so people come and learn about us, and then of course we reach out to them. We go and meet them online, mostly online. Sometimes we meet them in person too, but it's more direct sales, because there is a lot of education that needs to be done, because
mm.
when you have something very unique, market doesn't know about you, that is also a problem. And we are facing that problem, and we are you know solving that problem in these ways.
Got it. No, I can totally imagine, but just for the clarity for the listeners, what does it take for a layman to become a nurse? Like, what is it? Is it if I'm somebody, just go read CNA, pass it, and then I become a nurse? Is that the process?
Yeah, let me explain. So when you look at the nursing ladder, so you have the CNAs. They have the most number, in terms of the number, and then you have the LVN. CNA
Mm,
stands for Certified Nursing Assistants, and they usually help with uh, bathing, grooming, activities of daily living, as they call it. Activities of daily living, that is ADLs, that's handled by CNAs. And then
mm,
you have the LVNs that are a step above CNAs. And then you have RNs, at the top. And RNs provide the instructions to these nurses, and they work under that supervision. and working with the elderlies in skilled nursing, and also working with anyone in an acute care setting. In a general hospital, you might find CNAs, they are more acute care driven CNAs. And so those sort of things they perform. And in terms of the training, so like I said, it's very quick. 6 weeks you can become a CNA. You come to us. There is a test that you need to do. Once you have passed that test, enroll in the program, and then you start working with your. Let's say today it's Thursday. You enroll. Then on Monday you are going to start the theory with us. And it's a cohort-based theory model. So even though it's a self-paced program, but our instructors help them as a cohort so that you can see your peers, what is their progress, and you get that done in 3 weeks. And once you have done that, then you do the hands-on training at a site close to you. And that actually you choose before you enroll in the program. You see all the different sites we have, and you pick the one that is closest to you. So that's basically, and then once you have done the program, after the theory on the platform, the clinical in person, then you become eligible to sit for the state board testing, and that is a third-party testing that tests your both the theory knowledge and the clinical knowledge, and then once you have passed that, then you get the license from the state for 2 years, and that needs to be renewed every 2 years.
Awesome. And thank you for all the details, Vijay. But are you self-funded? Or are you raising any money, or are you profitable? What's the health
Yeah,
of the
we
company?
are profitable. We are profitable. We raised money a long time ago for Sparkworks software, but since we have pivoted, so we are profitable. And at this moment we are not raising, but things could change in 2024, especially with our expansion to other states and with other programs. So
Nice. Well, I mean that's a fantastic story there. But if I were to finally ask you, what are some lessons that you've gathered over these years? If you could distill down some of the lessons that you learned along the way, I think that would be super beneficial for somebody wanting to start in 2024, for example.
everyone has their own journey. I mean, it starts with the strength, like I said, strength, what you know and who you know. So that's important, be it customer, be it a CTO, be it a marketing guy, or anyone, you and people around you. It's the team, that's what I'm referring to with that. So I would start with that, your strength, and people around you, their strength. And once you have found that, then what can you do better that no one else has figured out, or they have figured it out, but they don't know how to do it. And believe in yourself. I mean, of course, you need to believe that you can do it and you have the skill set. Of course, that's why I started with the skill set. You need the skill set to back it up. It's not like randomly you can do it. And then, the customer validation piece, once you have that, and the idea needs to be validated with the customer. Multiple scenarios, you do multiple iterations, and it's just over time you keep iterating, and you go through multiple pivots, and one day you'll realize you have a product market fit. And that took us 6.5 years to find PMF, product market fit. And today, end of 2023, I can say we have a great product market fit, but it took 6.5 years to get that going.
No, first, congratulations, and that's happy to know that you've found a product market fit. But well, really appreciate for being here with me today on this episode of Everyday Leadership. Your story and your lessons and your journey will be extremely valuable to the audience who will be listening to this. With that, thank you again, Bijay. I really wish you good luck. And obviously, I'll stay in touch, and maybe we'll do another round after maybe 2 3 years when you really make that progress that I'm sure you will.
Thank you, Pradeep. It's a pleasure to be here, and all the best to you too. We'll keep in touch. Thank you.